Hey, my name is Deborah Winters. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where you will hear conversations with ordinary people telling their extraordinary stories. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Their Stories. And I have a wonderful guest today, but before I introduce her to you, I want to just please ask you to like the video, share, and when you click on share, you can send it out to several different media platforms, and then subscribe. So if you subscribe, you will get notifications when I publish videos. So lots of people say, I don't know when you post. Well, if you subscribe, then you will get notified for the next story. And I typically always actually post a new story on Monday. So thank you so much for helping me with that. And now we're going to have Abigail Fergus with us today. Now, I know Abigail, we go to the same church, Family Worship Center, and we're both on the music team. We both sing. Yes, but we met before music. Yes. We were just out in church, and I'm outgoing, and I just find out who people are. And what's your name? My name is Deborah. So we knew each other. But I know that's me. So I didn't know you could sing. And then one day you were on the platform for a sound check. It's like, oh, Abigail can sing. Yay. So tell us a little bit about, I'm just going to jump off. So how long have you been at Family Worship?
I've been at Family Worship, I want to say since the 9th grade, if I'm not mistaken. So I've been here for a long time.
Okay. I did not, I thought you were new. So
I've just been hiding in the back.
She's been hiding in the back.
Yes.
Okay. Since the 9th grade. Okay. And you just became involved in the last year?
Yeah, so actually, I wasn't saved until 2020.
Okay. So this is now January 22. Oh, by the way, we're in Florida and we're outside, and it's January the 13th, 2022. And it's 72 degrees?
It's 71 degrees.
71 degrees.
And it's going to be 70. Oh, wait. It's going to be 62 in like
5 o'clock. We're going to try to get this done before it's chilly. Yes. Anyway, so you got saved in 2020. So now, were you in church with your mother? How did you end up at Family Worship Center?
So I used to go to Word Life Ministries, which is also a church in Lakeland. And then my mom just randomly moved us to Family Worship Center one day. And we just started going there ever since. Here ever since.
Does your mom go to church here?
Yeah, my mom does go to church here.
I've never met your mom.
Yeah, she hides in the back too.
Okay.
Which is why I was in the back.
Okay. So you have siblings? You said
I have siblings. So my mom is gay, so she has a wife, so she sits in the back.
You're okay. Well, I did not know that. So, but she comes to church. Is this a place for her to be?
Yes.
Wow. So I'm just trying to think of where we're going to go from here. She threw me for a loop. Okay, so you've been here for 9 years. What did you say, for 9 years?
Since 9th grade. I think it's been about 9 or 8 years.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about growing up. So it was your father in your life and your mother?
So my dad is kind of in and out. He's not really there, but he's around.
So do you have a relationship with him?
Kind of.
Okay.
So we still talk. We're really good. Forgiveness is there. So there's no like bad terms or anything like that. So we still talk and we're good. My mom, she wasn't. They both were kind of just like there, not there.
There was not a lot of stability. Okay. I don't know that much about Abigail. I know that she's was involved or works for Top Buttons, which is a organization in town, and they sell.
It's a nonprofit that sells thrifting clothes.
Thrifting clothes, yes.
So we have women in the community that donate their clothes, and then we make sure they're good clothes, good brands, and then we just take care of those clothes and put them out so that women in our community can shop there, but also so after hours girls can come and get encouragement, get free clothes, like tell them about their worth.
Is there some training in there too when they come?
No, we
building
don't train
confidence.
Them. Yes, we do confidence. Build their confidence.
Yes. Okay, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's back up. So you did tell me, I did ask a couple of questions before we sat down. So you told me that you moved to England. Your mother just up and moved you to England when you were like a toddler, right?
Yes.
So just to go see a friend?
So my mom and my dad were married until I was about 2 years old, and then my dad told me one day he came home from work and he was asking my grandma, like, where was my mom? And she told her, like, she's with Nita, which is one of my mom's friends who lived in England. So she just left.
She just pulled up, rooted and left.
Yeah.
So how long were you there?
I have this picture that says 2003. So I want to say until I was 3 years old, but I don't remember that.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
So young. Okay, so you came back to the United States and settled in Lakeland.
Yes.
Okay, and so you you were in school, and she kept you in school. And what led you to Top Buttons? Maybe I could ask that question.
My mom put me in this program in Lakeland called Girls Incorporated of Lakeland, and so I was there at Girls Inc. And then when Miss Sarah Powers first started in like 2013, I want to say she started, but we went in 2015 when she first got her building, like, and it wasn't out of her house.
And was this in Lakeland? Because they have several locations.
Yes, it was when she used to have a shop on Dixieland, and it wasn't downtown yet. And we went, and that's how I kind of got involved. When they took the pictures, they chose my picture to be on the brochure. So
oh wow, I was like, you're famous.
So I just grew a relationship with Miss Sarah from then, and so
what did that do for you?
So Top Buttons really did inspire me, because when everything else failed in life and I realized like none of this is working for me, then I was just reminded of the things that were taught to me there and the things that were said to me there. And I remember always going in my drawer at random points and seeing this shirt that said I am not an object, and it just kept reminding me like I am not just a thing, I am a whole personality.
Yes. So you actually went to Top Buttons before you became a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. And Sarah goes to our church, Family Worship Center. Yes. So how long were you? I know you work there now, right? So how were you involved in that program for an extended period of time?
No, so I was just in there for that one moment, and then they would have another event and I would go, and then they would have another event and I would go. So it was like 2015, 2016, 2017.
So when you say event, what do you mean event?
So they would actually have these.
Were they fundraisers?
No, they were like, every year they have two events where they have a spring and a fall. And so what they do there is they have people in the community like counselors or police officers or just spoken word or dance or something in there to just show girls like about their worth. So it's kind of just like a conference, if I may.
Yeah, okay. So how old were you when you first went to Top Buttons?
13 turning 14.
So you were still in school. You had not. So you don't live with your mother now. So talk a little bit about that process.
Okay, so this is the nitty gritty.
Oh yes. So, hang on. I don't know any of this, so I'm learning with you.
So I lived with my mom and my grandma all of my life.
Okay.
So it was the three of us until my mom then got married, and then it was the four of us. Growing up, my mom is Jamaican, so she has like a different cultural background than what I'm being raised up in as a first generation American. So I'm trying to like be like my parents, and she's trying to be this way. And there was a lot of darkness that I just grew up around because there was no real
Jamaican influence. Is that what?
No, not Jamaican influence, just spiritual wise.
Oh, okay.
And so, I had a lot of. My mom went through a lot, so there was a lot of trauma on her part. So then she had no better knowledge but to then treat me that same way. So I was mentally abused, physically abused, emotionally
by your
abused.
mom?
Yeah.
Physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So was her new husband in the home with you? Were you living with her when she remarried?
When she did remarry, they never lived together.
Oh, okay.
And then because my mom was a Jamaican, she was trying to get her green card, so she only married for that reason.
Okay.
And then she divorced him so she could get married to her wife.
Yeah, that's another story. So go back to home with grandma. And
so my grandma was kind of like,
was she a
the
Christian?
strong faith one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
The strong
There's
faith
some sanity in this. Okay.
Yeah, she was the strong seated one, but she was kind of off on her own.
Okay.
Just like, I don't got time for this. So she was just like separated, but she was who I was closest with because I couldn't take my mom. So she was there just to like give me comfort and give me some sense of stability because I knew my grandma was always going to be there.
So we've talked about several things. So during this time when you're with your grandma and your mom and her new husband, were you at family worship at that time, or had you not come to Family Worship Center at that time?
We were at family
I'm trying to get a perspective on the timeline.
So we came to Family Worship Center. Actually, she was already married to her wife when we came here.
Okay, all right. So what happened? She divorced her husband, and then at what point did you discover that your mom liked women and she decided she was gay?
It was actually very odd. I remember she was switching churches because she felt judged at the other church.
Okay.
And it wasn't big enough for her to escape, like to hide. So she was trying to find another church. And you know, Family Worship Center is a big church. So it gave her that room to hide.
Okay.
So I remember one day we were driving to Family Worship Center and she was like, you know, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, oh yeah, what girlfriend are you talking about?
Because we all have girlfriends, right? You're
so
my girlfriend.
Yeah, so I asked her, I said, because you know, there's girlfriends like the show My Girlfriends. Or there's like the girlfriend where y'all like sleep together, y'all in a relationship. And mind you, I was like 10 years old.
Did you say that?
Yes,
you had this conversation. This was not an inner monologue. You just were expressing yourself. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
And you said that to her.
Yeah. I've always been very bold and open.
Well, what made you think that was a conversation that would apply to her?
I don't know.
Okay. That you would just say that randomly to your mother.
I mean, I grew up watching porn when I was young, so I
you
already
grew up watching porn.
Yeah.
Pornography. Okay.
Yes.
When you were young. Really?
Yeah, I had started when I was 5 years old.
No, you didn't.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay. So, how long did that go on?
Until I was about 19, about to be 20.
5 years old. So we're talking 15 years.
That's a long time.
Yes.
I never thought about that.
You know, you hear of, males, I don't think of females being engrossed in pornography.
Yeah.
Typically, I would think would be males, but you were. Okay. Well, that totally had to mess with your thinking.
It really did. And because I was looking for that love, then when I saw them, I was thinking like sex is connected with love, and that's the only way you can find love, which I never realized what warped me in that. It's like a lot of contributors, but
I mean, a 5-year-old child is very impressionable, and those are your formative years. So you're putting all that garbage into your mind and your heart. Okay, so you're going to church, and your mom tells you that she's a girlfriend, and you have this conversation.
Yeah,
what kind of girlfriend is it?
She just told me it was my girlfriend, like her companion, somebody who was her friend. So I'm thinking, okay, she has a friend. That's a girl. You know, like I have an auntie Karen who she's like my girlfriend. Like, so I'm like, okay, like it's just another auntie. So actually, like my mom told me when I first met her in Jamaica to call her Auntie Fern. So it was kind of just like,
oh, this woman that she was out in a relationship, she introduced as your auntie.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So back to the church ride.
Right.
You're asking her what kind of girlfriend it was, and what did she say?
She just said it was like she referred it to as one of her other friends.
So she didn't tell you the truth. Okay. All right. So go proceed.
So when we were in Jamaica, I ended up it was like in the middle of the night, and I needed some toilet paper because there was no more toilet paper.
So you went to Jamaica to visit. Okay.
And I walked in on them, and that's how I found out. It wasn't even through the tree.
How old were you?
I want to say 9 or 10. I think 9 turning 10, something around there.
And you walked in on them. Okay. All right. Now that is another like emotional shock, right? Wow. So did you say anything, or did you just?
Yeah. Afterwards, she like yelled at me to leave, and so I left. I went into bed. I cried, and then my mom came in, told me to come on. And we went outside the rooms and we were talking, and I was like, if you wanted to have sex, you could have just said, Abigail, I'm gonna have sex, so at least my mind and my heart is mentally prepared for this. I didn't even realize how deep I was talking even at that age, but I was like, so I can be prepared for this. And she like slapped the mess out of me because
she slapped you. So it's physical abuse.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
So did she hit you often?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's just continue down this path. So so how long were you in Jamaica for a visit? You were visiting Auntie Fern, and then did you come back to the States after?
Yeah, it was about a week or so.
Okay, it was just a visit then.
Yeah.
Okay.
My grandfather was sick in Jamaica, and so I went down there to like visit my cousins, visit my grandfather. I didn't know at the time, but he had prostate cancer.
Okay.
And so she was there in Jamaica 6 months at a time. And so one time she decided to like take me with her back to Jamaica. And
that was that time. Okay. So she had this relationship for years, probably, every time she went to Jamaica.
Yeah, she was in Jamaica on and off 6 months at a time for about 2 to 3 years.
And you stayed here with your grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what was the next phase of this journey? So you were back in the States and you were in school. Did Auntie come over to live in the States?
It wasn't until she got a visa to be able to come into the United States, which by that time my grandfather had already passed, so there was kind of no excuse for my mom to keep going back.
Yes.
And it was just time for her to move over.
Yes, gotcha. Okay. So how did you, was there counseling involved? I mean, how were you processing that?
Talking to my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were both in it. So it was kind
of.
So
was your grandma, did she know all this time, or was she shocked as you were?
I guess my mom told her at some point, but that wasn't a conversation that she necessarily liked, because my grandma told her the truth. Like, my grandma was very blunt, so she would just be like,
oh, so is she no longer alive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So let's look at the next. I'm just kind of like trying to process this information. So you grew up in this home. So was Auntie in the home with you?
Yes, when she got her visa, then she moved in our house.
Okay. Was that awkward?
Yeah, because at the time my mom hadn't fully divorced my stepdad. So it was kind of like knowing there was another person in the house that my mom was in a physical relationship with, but knowing that she was still married, so it was kind of wrong.
So was he in the house too?
No.
Okay.
He didn't live there.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So this continued until you moved out at some point in time.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm. This is when I was like 12 that she moved in. So my mom finally got a divorce after my stepdad allowed the papers to be signed. And then she was like, Fern was able to just come out of hiding, like from.
They became open with their relationship. Okay. And so how long did that?
That pretty much just started a whole bucket of worms itself. Honestly.
Yes. So that you were all lived in the home together, and so was that awkward? I mean, you introduced. Did you introduce her as your mom's wife or just your mom's friend?
Actually,
go ahead. Sorry.
It was actually just a lot of secrecy.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
And you were coming here to church, Family Worship Center. No.
I had went too far earlier.
What does that mean?
To be clear, like when I was
sorry,
when I was 9 to 10, I was going to church with my grandma.
Okay.
Because my mom wasn't here in the United States.
Okay.
So then when she finally came back to the States when I was about 10, 11,
okay,
we were still going to Word Alive.
Okay.
And then once Fern moved when I was about 12, then we stopped going to Word Alive because she realized she couldn't take her there. So
small church. Okay. All right. So then you were coming here with your mom and her friend to Family Worship Center. Yeah. So I'm not really sure where to go from there.
So,
yes.
like, with her living in the house, because you were saying what was the environment like living with both of them in the house.
Yes.
So, it was kind of divided. Like, it was me and my grandma, and then my mom and her wife.
Okay.
So it was never really peaceful there.
And did the abuse continue during that time?
Oh yeah. It was actually, the division was because I started to realize that my mom cared more about her wife than she did about me. Wow. And so it was like, okay, now that I know you don't care about me, let me go to my grandma, who I know cares about me and feels the same way about the relationship as I do, which caused even more division.
And you were still watching porn during this time. I mean, do you feel like that you've totally gone through counseling and healing from all of that trauma? I mean, that's a lot of trauma.
It is. I've been through a lot of trauma. I think that I've been healed from a lot, but I'm still healing.
Yes. I mean, I just think about a 10-year-old child. I just can't imagine. Okay, so and then you're going to church. So your mom's living this lifestyle, and you're going to church. So
I had a very.
So were you in hiding then?
I felt like because they were in hiding and they were my parents, I was also in hiding too.
Yes.
So I never really understood Christianity because it was like, how do you go to church and you hear
and live this lie
and you're like cursing at home.
Oh
you're abusing me. You're not like doing what you're supposed to do.
Who
but
is
you want
this
me to
God
live.
that you serve?
Like,
really?
who are you?
Oh. So what changed? I mean, when did you realize that this is not who God is? This is not how a Christian lives. What happened?
After, like, this all continued for a very long time until I was 19. I was going through, like, I was really just tired, honestly.
Had you developed a group of friends in the church? No. So you were just alone.
Yeah. And I had friends in the world, but they weren't really my friends. They were just people to hang out with.
So was your grandmother still alive at this point in time? Mm-hmm. Okay. So she was the stabilizing force in your life. Yeah. So, okay. I just wanted to know how so back to when you decided that this was not right. There's more.
So my mom, I had really got tired of my mom, like, honestly. I was tired of the abuse and stuff. So not when I was 19, but when I was 18, about to be 19, I tried to commit suicide.
Really?
Yes.
So what did you do? Can you tell us?
Yes, I took a whole bunch of pills, like a bottle full of pills. I like mixed them together and made sure it was a lot. So like muscle relaxers, painkillers, like a whole bunch of stuff, and I mixed it in a bottle together. And then I just took them with a bunch of water, and I called one of my then friends, who wasn't really my friend, and she was just like, you know, I'm gonna call your mom, because I had locked the door and everything, because I was like, you're not coming in here. And so she was like, I'm gonna call your mom. And I was like, there's no need. And so I was like, I'm just gonna die in peace here in my bed. Like, just let it be it. And so I don't even really remember going to sleep, but I went to sleep, and then I woke up and it was like dark in my room, because I guess it was nighttime by then. And I just woke up, and I kind of was like in like
in a fog.
Yeah, it wasn't really like clear to me, but I know
That's
when
you're taking all that medicine.
But when I woke up and it was morning time, I woke up and I was like,
why did I wake up?
Yeah, I was like,
what is this?
I was like, oh, so
it didn't work.
I was like, Lord, I guess it's not meant. Like, it's so weird, because it's not weird. It's very, God is very good. I realized throughout my childhood that there was many moments where I've seen him and knew it was him, but wasn't ready to obey him. I kind of just like dismissed him, like, Lord, I see you, but I don't care. I don't want to do that.
So we're going to stop, because it's just time. And we're going to pick this story up next week. So you have to come back, because at least you know she woke up. So there's more to the story.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And Abigail, we'll do another story.
Yes.
Part 2. Alrighty? Part 2. There's hope. So be encouraged. So we've just barely scratched the surface. This is like amazing. So God bless, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.